Hi, welcome to the AV Report. I'm your host, Justin O'Connor. So, this is a new video series. You're watching the very first episode, and I thank you very much for joining me. And I will be covering the pro AV industry in general. So, I'll have usually a topic at the beginning of the video that I will just discuss. So, it could be a trend, it could be an issue, it could be my overall thoughts or insights on something, and I'll share that. With my unique perspective, having been in product development for this industry for a long time. And then we'll talk about some product news. And that's more or less the format this thing is going to take, although it's being hosted on YouTube, so there's a comment section. You're welcome to comment, ask questions, make suggestions for things you might want to see in the video. That would be appreciated as well. But without any further ado, let's get right into it. So for this first episode, I thought I would talk about the AV industry in general. I think if you've been to a conference, a seminar, a trade show in the last handful of years, there's been a lot of talk about what's going to happen with the AV industry. Certainly being meshed with the IT industry and other communications and kind of technology infrastructure industries. But where's the AV industry going? And I want to say this. In my opinion, the AV industry is in flux, but AV as a service is going to be around for a long time. What I mean about AV as a service is the function that all of this stuff we do in the audio and visual space, the functions that it actually provides to knowledge workers in the corporate environment or in the education environment or healthcare or government. We're always going to have this need to communicate. And what we've seen is a trend in remote communication, in distributing and archiving and saving communication, and then adding collaboration on top of that. These are the trends that have been fueling us for a handful of years now. Those trends are going to continue. People are going to still need those services, those capabilities. And so AV as an entity, as a service, is always going to exist. So then what about the industry that we call AV? So that's the manufacturing, the consultants, the integrators, the installers, the resellers. That industry is definitely in flux, and we've seen that. We've seen different elements of those services and integration and installation and maintenance being shifted into who it belongs to, who's fulfilling it, who maintains it, who approves it. We've seen that in flux. And on the manufacturing side, we've seen giants in other industries, software, computing, telecom. We've seen them move into the AV space. Trends like that are going to continue, and we will see more of that flux. And that's okay. The secret for those of us who have been in this AV industry, who want to stay in this AV industry, is to remain flexible, to focus on the big picture, and on education. So I'll spend a couple minutes on this last one, education. There's been a lot of concern over whether or not there's the talent pool in the industry to keep it going. Well, if you think the talent pool isn't there, train the talent pool. Hire staff. I don't care who you are, a manufacturer, integrator, consultant, tech manager. Hire staff when they're fresh out of college and they haven't picked a direction yet, and train them in AV. If the talent pool isn't there, create the talent pool. Let's all invest in making sure that we're all educated in audio, in video, in communication, in collaboration, and of course in networking infrastructure, because those are kind of the pillars of providing this service to the people who genuinely need it. So each week I will be bringing you some news topics, new products, maybe some things outside of new products that are current and kind of immediate to around the time that each video airs. So for this first week, first product I'm going to talk about is the new Shure GLX-D wireless system. They first showed this publicly back in January 2017 at the NAMM show. What I like about this wireless system is, although it's not a big major like arena wireless platform. It's for smaller budgets, smaller applications. It has some really great features for frequency management. It actually has something called Frequency Manager. So while that from a spec standpoint, allows you to simultaneously run 9 to up to 11 systems in the same environment. It doesn't just pick whatever is compatible. It actually optimizes and picks the best frequencies based on the RF spectrum at the time. And now more than ever, there's RF everywhere, and the spectrum is just so full, especially with Wi-Fi everywhere. So frequency management is something that all wireless systems must have in some form or factor. And I really like what Shure has done with their frequency manager and how much they've simplified what is otherwise a really complex concept. They also have intelligent battery recharging, which is also really important for wireless systems. So that's the Shure GLX-D. Our next product news item comes from Blackmagic, and they're announcing the release of their DaVinci Resolve software version 14. They're actually calling this the biggest software release in the history of DaVinci Resolve. It's a very robust software, but they've streamlined it, they've made it faster and more fluid, and that's really important for a software management platform that is as robust and big as DaVinci Resolve is. It has Fairlight audio built in, and here's what got me really excited about it. I'm an audio guy, so the fact that you can run 1,000 audio tracks simultaneously, up to 1,000, with parametric EQ, dynamics, and plugins, and run them all simultaneously, I think that's really important, and I think that's a great advancement to that software. So again, that's DaVinci Resolve 14. It's being announced by Blackmagic Design. Our final news item is actually not a product release, it's about some classes. So Caster Communications is a PR and communications firm that does a lot of work in the AV industry. And at CEDIA 2017, which is coming up pretty soon, I think it starts September 5th, they're doing classes on social media. And at first you might be scratching your head, what, social media? Well, here's the thing. Integrators and installers in residential or commercial markets, a large majority of them are small business owners, and you may be watching this and you may also be a small business owner. So what Caster Communications is providing is 3 courses in how to use Facebook and Twitter as professional outreach tools to grow your business, grow your client base, and build your brand. I think this is really important. The integration and installation community and this industry that I started talking about at the beginning is a very important, it's a vital part of keeping this industry moving, keeping it current, and serving the end user, serving the clients. So anything that can support them is a big deal. And we tend to focus on, well, how are we going to educate on technology, but what about running a business? As I said, so many of these entities are small, independently owned and operated businesses by people who didn't get into them because they're into business, but because they're into the technology and the service. So business education is a really big deal, but I think this is great. In the modern era, everybody is using Facebook and Twitter and other social media aspects and outlets to promote brands, promote businesses, promote awareness. So I think this is a great idea to have classes for people in our industry who want to know how to build their business through these new platforms that have tremendous potential reach. So the last news item for the week is this video, the AV report. I'm doing this completely on my own, and I really enjoy doing it, and I'm happy to be doing it. If you like it, please, all I'm asking you to do is share it. Share it with somebody else in the industry, send them an email, send them the link, or share it on your social media outlet of choice with members of the industry that are in your circle. I would really appreciate it, and I will try not to ask this on a regular basis. But being the first video, I can't help but ask you, if you like what you see, please share. And then finally, I used to make this point in another video series I did, but it's very important to me. Go see some live local music in your town or wherever your travels may take you. Music is how I got into this industry, and I'm a musician as well. And I can tell you that the people that you go see will appreciate you being there, and it will also be an enjoyable experience for you. So go see some live local music. Thank you so much for watching, and that is the AV Report.